All right, so check out this Cummins engine. This thing turned out beautiful years ago. So it has our lift support on it right here. You can see how easy it is to open and close. And then we've got the Cummins 6BT engine in there. Allison tranny behind it. Truck runs really good. We also Hey folks, welcome back to another vlog. Hopefully everyone's still out there staying safe and staying away from people. Out here in California still pretty quiet on the roads, but pretty much the same last 2 weeks or so. But today, quick update on this truck. As you saw in the last vlog, we had the body up on it. The original engine was still in place. And looks like the mechanic ferries came in last night and dropped the engine in there. Been doing a lot of overtime hours on this truck. We've got Flo, we've got Cheeto, Randazzo been working on this truck after normal hours. So we're still working on all of original projects and builds, but they're putting in some overtime hours to get this thing done. Pretty much all last week, this week, and into this weekend. So this thing will be wrapped up here pretty quick. We should have it on the road on this weekend, next couple days, and testing it out. So engine's in place. They're working on the wire harness right now, the wire harness integration into the factory wire harness. And then we do have a couple nice upgrades on here. We put the 12-inch Alpha brake system in here, and that's going to be going in place shortly. But these are the new dog bones that go in place up here that allow it to fit properly. So we've got that in here right now. We're gonna do the rotors, pads, and finish up the brake system probably Monday, Tuesday after we get a few miles or a few days on this truck driving it, as well as half shafts. And I think we're done at that point. And I think the truck is done and shooting for like a Wednesday shipment date on this guy. Nice quick truck. It looks like it's happening very quickly. But we have been spending a lot of time on it, building up the engine. That whole process takes a couple weeks, and then from there, getting the truck prepped and wrapped up. So next biggest hurdle is just test miles on it after we get the cooling stack in place later tonight. And here's a cooling stack over here. Check this out. Super nice. Aluminum intercooler, aluminum radiator, aluminum AC condenser up here. It's a bigger AC condenser that we go with, a little bit thinner. It allows for better cooling as well. So you have a lot more airflow that's going to go through this thinner stack, which gives you better heat dissipation. Secondarily, we have an oil cooler and tranny cooler that goes on the back of the truck up in the frame rails. And then we finish off the intercooler, the whole cooling package with this Billet Predator Duramax logo up here, anodized in black. And then you've got your fuel cooler and another oil cooler up here as well. But yeah, just having a thinner stack, you can see how thin the stack is right here. It just allows for a lot more airflow through the cooling stack. Makes it a lot more effective too, as opposed to having the original cooling stack is like this thick. It's just huge difference. We also throw electric fan on here. You definitely can't run just strictly electric fans on these trucks. It just generates too much heat, but this is really nice in stop and go traffic, as well as rock crawling. Anytime you have like an additional need for throwing some more air in across the top. Also, when you hit your AC on, whether it's bumper to bumper traffic or even highway speeds, it's nice to get a positive push through the top and get that heat dissipation that goes through the intercooler up and radiates through the AC condenser. So it keeps the AC condenser a little bit cooler. Allows for being a lot more effective to at cooling. But there's something else I want to show you. So come on in the back, let's take a look at this. All right, check this out, folks. So we are working on this beautiful Cummins wagon. We did this build probably 6 or 7 years ago. It's just an awesome build with the Allison transmission behind it. Beautiful, beautiful truck. But customer came back for the stretch seating. So this is the original panel out of the truck. This is the front end of the fender well. So we take all of this out right here. You're talking about 9 inches of added leg room. Because what we're doing is we're moving that whole seat back. So that's the factory piece used for mock-up. And then here is the new piece. As you can see, the difference here is just massive. So instead of being out here with it, we're now way back in here, kind of creating this big cavity here that the seat slides back to. So let's take a look at this truck. Josh is working on the stretch seating right now. He's got this whole cavity cut out right here, as well as on the other side. And you can see where that original seat goes. It's actually like right where his hand is right here. These are the original mounts down in this area. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Kind of in your way. But we're moving that all back about 9 inches. So getting 9 inches in here is just huge. You can also relocate the front seats back too. So if the owner of the truck is, you know, 6'3" plus, we can definitely relocate the front seats back as well when we have this stretch seating option. But yeah, it's turned out really nice. You can also see over there, that's another problem we're gonna run into, is that exhaust system. So as you can see, you have one of the problems of the hurdles here is this exhaust system. With the exhaust system in this original location, there's no way we can get that extra seating capacity here. So what we do is we actually come in right about here, and the exhaust system is gonna make a turn right about here and run right through this cavity over here above the A-arm and then back and down. So we're kind of shortening up this water trap a little bit and tucking it in a lot tighter. But that gives us the room that we need to create this cavity here for that extra seating. But you really can't tell that it's been done from the outside because we're actually lining up with the outside body panel too. Just kind of a very clean factory look when it's all said and done. And then the C-pillar that normally bolts on right here and goes across, we're just sliding back and relocating right back over here. And then we have some new panels that we're gonna mold out of fiberglass and then rewrap with interior with like leather, matching leather for the rest of this truck, and then put it all back together. Nice little upgrade, tremendous amount of leg room. And like I said, there's that front seat can now be moved back too if you want to. So if you're, you know, 6'3" plus, you're a taller guy, that gives you a lot more leg room up there too by moving it back. And you're not compromising the rear passenger either. You're still actually gaining more room for the rear passengers too. So yeah, definitely a must on these wagons. Really easy on the wagons. You could potentially do it on a soft top, but you're talking remolding some, redoing that back curtain. It gets a little bit tricky on how you're gonna finish it off properly, but you could do it. All right, so check out this Cummins engine. This thing turned out beautiful years ago. So it has our lift support on it right here. You can see how easy it is to open and close. And then we've got the Cummins 6BT engine in there. Allison tranny behind it. Truck runs really good. We also changed the radiator stack a little bit. If you take a look at that, we changed the pitch of it. So having that more vertical pitch in there actually allows a little bit more airflow to come in. Because if you can imagine, let's say your radiator is set back at a 45-degree angle, that airflow has to come in, hits it, turns down and goes through it like that. Now it's a little bit more vertical, so it has less of an angle that it has to spin through. So a little bit more effective by changing that. A lot of work. We've got a new fan shroud in there as well. But people always call up and ask, like, well, I want to go with the Cummins because it's going to be cheaper. And it is cheaper, less expensive buying the engine than a Duramax. However, you're going to end up spending a lot more with the Cummins to do it right with the Allison transmission behind it because there's so much custom work. Reason for that is the inline 6 just inherently does not fit in the engine cavity as well as a V8 design. This thing was designed for a V8 engine, which is a little bit shorter engine bay space as opposed to a longer engine bay that's necessary for a Cummins, as well as the overall height because it's an inline 6. Everything's all vertical as opposed to spreading it out like this. So it is a lot tighter in this truck to make it fit, which requires more custom work, where the Duramax is a lot less custom and it has a better fit inside the engine bay. So it is Definitely more expensive with the Cummins, but if you are a Cummins guy, it's a great way to go. Hey folks, I appreciate you watching. Next week we've got some cool stuff going down as well. We're working on an H2. That engine that we showed you before is going to be dropped into the H2 probably mid next week or so to late next week, but we'll get some footage of that up on the vlog as well. Until then, stay safe, stay away from people, and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.